Hi, everyone, and welcome to Cab Gab, the place where followers and friends of Oregon Cabaret Theater can tune in to stay connected, informed, and most importantly, entertained. Cab Gab, Cab Gab, where did you come from? On today's episode, we are going to be doing an interview with company member Stepheanie Jones. She's done a couple of shows with us in the past, and she is going to be appearing with us in our upcoming production of the full Monty. Hi, Stepheanie. Welcome to Cab Gab.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
Where are you joining us from, Stepheanie?
Okay, so I had a little bit of a run into an issue. I don't have Wi-Fi at my apartment because I'm trying some new thing with my life at the moment. So I asked a friend to borrow their Wi-Fi from their backyard because they have a lovely little backyard. And so we could still social distance as well as I could use the Wi-Fi to Zoom with you today. And I got there and their gardener is there and he's using the blower or the leaf blower, whatever you call it. And I had a little panic moment because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to meet with Gal right now. So I drove down the street and I am stealing Wi-Fi from a friend's driveway. And he doesn't even know that I'm here yet. So he might show up and I might have to explain it to him from the window. So.
Well, thank you so much for making it work. I mean, you're doing it. How did you find your way to Oregon Cabaret Theater? Or to Ashland, because you're not from Ashland. You're from Oregon?
I'm from Central California originally, but every summer my family would move up to Oregon. So I grew up during summers at Crater Lake National Park, so I got to know Klamath Falls and Ashland area a little bit, as well as Medford a little bit, because these are town days. So when we needed groceries, we'd come down for the weekend sometimes, or we would just come down for a day and we'd go see movies and we would see other human beings. Because as a child, you're like, people, because up at the park, there are not many people. There were like 2 or 3 families that we could play with kids. And then other than that, we were just kind of our own community. So I feel like actually that was part of a lot of my creativity growth, was because we had to entertain ourselves as well as, when you're playing out in the woods, creativity becomes very helpful because you're doing rock forts and all these different games and whatnot. And so then you would play in creeks and we'd have little Barbie events and, like all these great things out in the nature. My
family was not big about buying you toys and stuff like that. They were like, there's a whole world out there. You want to play, you want to play like you're in the army? Look at all these tree branches. Pick that up. That's your gun. You want to? It was not. That was a huge thing. Was growing up in a rural area like that as a child. It was very much, I think, helped cultivate imagination for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it pushes you out and says, go use your imagination and whatever nature can supply for you. Go have fun. Do it.
And don't bother me. That's what the adults would. They'd be like, and don't.
Come home and tell me dinner.
Exactly.
And don't forget to shave your legs. You're reading your own mind, you idiot.
Oh. The Carrie Smith and Carrie Robbins were the ones who were like, oh my gosh, you need to audition for Jim. You need to audition for Jim. And I was like, I can't do it. And it took them a few months. And then Jim was, in the transitioning the theater to Val and Rick, and sadly, had his quick passing. Val and Rick took over, and then it still took me a while, but I was like, I'm going to go audition at the Cabaret. And it was a really sweet moment because, for one thing, I had known Jim a little bit before his passing, and it was just this really sweet experience. Like, I couldn't do this for Jim. It didn't happen, unfortunately, in that time frame, but I'm going to do this in the theater that he loved and worked in for years, and so it was that really kind of like a special thing for me. As well as Rick and Val are so easy to audition for, and they're so fantastic. They are just fun and inviting and really welcoming in their environment. And I just loved it. And Rick loves playing around during auditions. Like, he'll be like, okay, like now totally flip that role and do it with this accent, or like do this, make it a man. And you're just all these things you're not expecting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's a lot of fun.
I want to buy the whole package if you get my drift. Woo! You got some nice buns on you.
I remember you were such a nervous wreck when you first came in to do that show. You were like on pins and needles all the time.
Oh my gosh. And then, I mean, Michael Jenkinson, his choreography did not let up at all. So like that helped with the pins and needles under my rear end. Under my rump was Michael Jenkinson's choreography that was like, ow!
You did such a great job. I mean, you were awesome in that show, and I loved getting to know you even better in that show. Let's talk about Drowsy Chaperone.
Oh, Drowsy. Oh, I loved it. I loved this show so much. And then so when I got cast in it for the cabaret, I was just absolutely just through the roof excited because I was like, oh, I love this show. I love this show so much. It was a great experience for me at the cabaret. It really pushed me in different ways, in the sense that yeah. Oh my gosh, now I forgot the character's name. I'm so terrible.
Do you want me to help you? Do you want me to help you?
Yes, help me.
Okay, so you played Kitty.
Kitty, thank you.
Yeah.
I keep thinking Molly, Missy, Misty. I was like, why am I thinking M's? I don't think it's M. Kitty. Oh my gosh, she was so precious. What a very aloof, precious character she was. I still have a friend who can't come to see that show, and he literally will do what? And I'm like, he will never get over that quote. He thought it was the funniest thing almost in his whole life. And he still uses even during text, he'll do like, what? And I know what he's doing. Like, yeah, you're quoting. Also, there it is.
I really do love it. I still have people who come up to me in like stores or what have you, the gym. I have people who come up to me and they're, what? What is it that's keeping you busy? What are you doing during this time? Many of us are in quarantine. And we're having to make up our own routines and schedules. Are you in that world, or do you have things that are really keeping you busy right now?
I am working. I work at a clinic in Medford, and we are seen as like a needed essential clinic. So we have stayed open, and we have stayed seeing a very similar amount of patients every day, which I would say is about 100 to 150 usually. And so we do still see people. I still go to work at the same time and I go home at the same time. I have new routines at home that I do that I love, that keep me in a happy mindset. I every Saturday and Sunday, I now wake up and have tea time and breakfast in bed. So I spoil myself like a little princess, and I love it. And I even have a cute little tray that I had bought for my apartment, which is my new space. It's my little oasis, and I adore it. I had bought it right before kind of all this chaos had happened, and so I just kind of bring it into bed with me, and I make it like my quiet space. And I have this lovely tree that sits outside my bedroom window that I get to enjoy while I'm having breakfast, and I just kind of soak in peaceful, quiet moments, and I'm loving it. And I don't have Wi-Fi at my house, which I think is probably the weirdest part of quarantining during the weekends, because a lot of what people are doing are online.
I just feel like, are you like a caveman? Like, I don't understand how you're living right now without you're without Wi-Fi, which means like you're without a lot of us consider like, entertainment now.
Essential entertainment. Mm-hmm.
Watching the Netflix or watching the Hulu or watching whatever, or just anything.
And even I feel like almost essential communication now, because like stuff like this where you're Zoom meeting a lot of your family and your friends, you're Facebook videoing, you're doing all these like very online, it's become our new culture of communication, is kind of the online communication. And so when I do that, I have to do things like this. But yeah, so I have really been loving it though. I decided on no Wi-Fi and no TV. I have no TV, so I don't even have like the ability to set up like a funky little cable, setup thing, and so I just wanted it as kind of quiet as possible. And I wanted to force myself to read. Oh my gosh, read. I have not booked for enjoyment in years, and I just wanted to force myself to try to do that and actually enjoy it at some point.
I find that's beautiful and refreshing. I mean, it really is, to kind of take a step back and to, especially with what you're doing, which is you're one of our frontline people right now working at this clinic and meeting people's needs and having to deal with the ones that has to be super stressful. I know it has to be for you and for everyone out there who's working in the medical field or working in law enforcement or working for our fire department, or all of these people right now. It has to be a crazy world, especially for the people in the medical field. It's got to be super stressful, and seeing so much that's going on right now in the press about, people making an uprising against the people who could be the people that will be the ones saving your life. It's just weird. It's so weird. So it's probably a good idea that you're taking a break from having all that in your face.
I think it's been helping me, and it really has kind of quieted my spirit down and given me a time to just kind of not necessarily reflect, but just be quieter. Stop it! Oh my gosh!
I thought I'd get on your level, girl. I thought I'd get on your level.
Twinsies!
So now a real cheers.
Real cheers. Wait, I haven't opened my bottle yet, though.
Oh, okay. I'll wait on you.
Okay, because I was worried that my friend that is unknowingly letting me drink in his driveway, like, could that affect him? Like, could he get a ticket for letting me drink in his driveway?
I don't think that's a thing.
Hi!
I was about to drive by it.
I'm sorry, do you want to be on a video recording real quick for the cabaret and say hi?
Hi. Hi there.
Doing an interview in my friend's place that they were going to let me use their internet. Their gardener was outside and he was using a blower. I hope you don't mind.
It's fine. I was just like, this is random.
Sorry.
No, it's totally okay.
This is everything.
That's good. Thanks for letting me use your driveway. Okay, bye. Poor CH was so confused. Oh,
I'm just
like, this is perfect.
Absolutely, I bet he is confused. That's too funny. Oh my god.
I didn't even text him. This is how like a thief I am. Like I didn't even text him because like our meeting was starting. It was like 3 seconds till I was supposed to be on. My Zoom wasn't working, and I was trying to get the Zoom to work, and I was like, I'll text him right when we start, and then I never did. And loudy.
Stepheanie, I'm going to go ahead and take this time. We're getting ready to sign off. Before we do, is there any way that our viewers can follow you on social media or what have you? And if so, how can people follow you if they would like to on social media or anything like that?
Oh, sure. Oh, how interesting. Ooh, I've never been asked that before. So I do Instagram, and my Instagram is scjones661.
Beautiful. A little Instagram there. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and sign off with you. I thank you so much, Stepheanie. This has been beautiful, and I'm excited for you to be a part of this. You're my heart.
Oh, I love you, gal. Thank you.
Holy cats! What? That ought to wait
I want to say thank you so much to Stepheanie Jones for joining us today. That was a lot of fun. Also, seriously, to repeat, a special shout out and thank you to all of those who are on the front lines right now, really, really helping us, especially those in the medical field. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And then also, if you would like to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram. Last but not least, if you have anything you would like to share, comments, questions, things that you would like to see and or hear on this show, please feel free to write me. You can reach me at cabgab@OregonCabaret.com. All right? Thanks, everyone. This has been fun. Cheers.